All right, guys, today we are going to talk about how we got to this weathered wheel finish, including that wrinkled paint. That wasn't planned, but it can happen. And we're going to talk about all that today with clear coating these wheels. Come along. Poppy's Patina, that's what we're talking about. And not just wiping it on, today we're spraying it on our recently weathered wheels that are going on Project on our dime. On our dime? Project on a dime. It's our 93 S10 build we have right here on the channel, the whole playlist, and we're just getting started, and it's gonna be tons of fun. So give us a like, give us a subscribe, let's do this. Poppy's Patina, thank you for the sponsor. We're spraying this on today too.
Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me when I'm falling. Cover up my scars, flip the handlebars. Crashing in my car, wake up in a bar. I'll be a superstar, just on my avatar. This world is so bizarre, empty out.
All right, so Poppy's Patina, I mentioned earlier, they did sponsor us, and they asked, you know, well, what do you want to do? And we used their products in the past, and we've done the matte finish, we've done the clear finish, and kind of on this S10 Project on a Dime, we wanted to do something satin. So basically what they did is they send you their gloss, oh, this is matte, and gloss, and you mix them together, and you end up with a satin. You obviously got your grease and wax remover, and then your catalyst helps protect everything out to keep it, you know, impervious to gas and chemicals and stuff like that. And of course, the directions are always in this nice seal. I love getting stuff from these guys. Always a cool sticker, and I'll show you some more about that later because their stickers are awesome. Directions, and you can wipe this on, and we've wiped this on in the past. Today we're spraying it on. So it does tell you right in here in the directions, the product may be sprayed on with a 1.4 nozzle at 35 PSI. So we have our Harbor Freight cheap budget build. My son did not clean out well when he used it, which has the 1.4 tip on it that we're gonna plumb up and dial up our regulator down to 35 PSI. We're up here in the home shop today, not in the big shop because it's warmer. I can control the heat a little better as far as spraying this on, so we want these wheels to dry well. So first things first, we're gonna take our homemade water pump rotisserie, that's right, it's exactly what you see here, that I've made, and actually this thing is so handy. I'm gonna screw it to this piece of plywood. No, we don't have a big fancy paint booth, and I'm only doing full wheels, so I'm not too worried about getting covered in everything, paint spraying, whatever, but we covered up the other S10 frame. We got our wheels over here. I'm gonna have the wheels set onto the rotisserie. We're gonna give it a wipe down with grease and wax remover. Then we're gonna let that set for a second. Then we're gonna hit it with the spray gun. And like I said, I'll talk about mixing the stuff up right now. Okay, here's a little better view of our rotisserie water pump in action. And honestly, for doing jobs like this with wheels, I've used this a ton of times. It works fantastic, I'm not gonna lie. I've done some short videos on it because I've had people ask me about it. It's just like a 6x6 block of wood screwed to the end of the water pump there. And it comes out, I mean, it works great for these wheels. But what we're going to do when we're setting the gun up so it can dry is we're going to hit these with the grease and wax remover. So real quickly, hopefully it's okay because this is all just spray paint and that it doesn't harm it. It shouldn't be in grease and wax. It's nothing harsh. So we'll quickly hit it with that and then we're going to let these things dry and get into the spraying part of it itself. Alright, so per the directions, you basically mix the, whether you're using the gloss or the matte, it doesn't matter. In our case, because we are looking for that satin finish, I'm gonna do, and I'm not doing a big portion here because we're gonna be doing the whole truck with this, is we're gonna take a separate mixing cup. We're gonna go 50-50 gloss and matte, and we'll end up with our satin finish. And then it's 8 parts of the, 8 parts of this, the clear, to the catalyst. So again, 8 parts of this to 1 part of this. We're mixing these 50-50 because we're looking for the satin. Again, we got gloss and matte here. So let's get them going in the cup, and then we add it to our spray gun that we've already dialed into 35 PSI. Again, this is just our cheapy Harbor Freight one. We're working in the house garage shop today, which is kind of a mess, but not as bad as it really was because it's now where we moved out of and become like a storage area. So it works, it works. You guys can catch the full painting and weathering of these wheels in a separate YouTube video that's going to be linked in here as well. How we achieved this weathered look and with layering the paint with 3 different colors. And actually they came out really cool. I was super happy with it. Talked to some friends that are into the body work and stuff, and kind of helped me out with going for that look that we were trying to achieve with the S10. I think we nailed it. So now we're just trying to preserve that, because naturally this is sanded down to the metal in some spots. So we want to preserve that, and that's where the satin clear coat is coming into play. All right, over to the absolutely trashed bench. We got our acetone for some cleanup. We got a gun setup. We got a mixing cup. So if we're gonna go 4 ounces, we're probably gonna go 4 and 4. So 4 gloss, 4 matte. That makes 8. We'll keep the math simple, and then 1 ounce of the catalyst. Mix it up, add it, spray it. Simple as that, right? You don't have to spray this on, and we've actually applied this with the rags and the applicator pads, which it did come with as well. They're right here. So you can apply it with that. You just got to be careful on spray painted surfaces. I will say that. You can run into some problems on spray paint surfaces. So just be aware of that. Don't want to get yourself into trouble and start smearing paint around. We decided to go with the spray gun this time for a different finish. We don't get any of the wiping streaks, although it does lay on really nice. So that's kind of where we're at with that. I just wanted to mention that as well. All right, so this is the matte finish. It smells delicious. So like I said, we're going 4 ounces and 4 ounces. Phew. You know it's good. It's gotta be good if it smells. Gotta be. And yes, I have a respirator. Not on my face at the moment, but it will be when I start atomizing this. And this is the gloss. So we're gonna bring it up to the 8. We're gonna add our catalyst. It's about right. And this isn't like absolutely perfection. It's kind of to show you that, yeah, the everyday guy can do this in his freaking home garage or his shop or even outside. Honestly, if it was warmer, I'd have the doors open, and that's how I'd be doing it. Pick a few bugs out and you're good to go. So we're gonna add about an ounce. So I'm going up about an ounce. That's it. A little mixage, and it's into the gun we go for spraying. That's probably enough to do a couple wheels at least. Maybe into the 3rd, and we might have to make a real small batch to get that 4th done, but let's get it in the gun. Don't worry, I almost never spill. And no, I'm not using a strainer either, so yeah, this is really, this is top notch, Scott. But, you wait, it's gonna look top notch. Been super happy with their products. The Poppy's Patina line is awesome. What a cool thing to come out with, right? We always use like boiled linseed oil and stuff like that on our projects in the past. And now that we have this, you basically end up with this long life protection without that sticky, oily residue as well. So let's get on the wheel. All right, my son's very mess with these adjustments, so you kind of want to dial in your gun a little bit first. And this is not about how to dial in a gun. That's a lot of paint. I like the width right there, that football shape. That's a lot of paint. That's not bad. That's not bad. I think you can live with that one. All right, let's get it on the wheel. I think the plan, sorry muffled voice, is we're gonna do 2 light coats, and I'm just gonna lightly spin the wheel and get the first layer on, let it set up a few minutes, then we'll hit it with a 2nd coat. So again, I'm not a professional painter by any means. There's a disclosure for you, so someone's probably gonna hate on this, but we're just lightly giving it a coat. This thing will put the paint on. All right, there's coat 1. It's glossy, it's gonna set up. It actually came out really nice. And we're gonna give that like 5 minutes to flash over. We're gonna hit it with coat 2. And that'll be it. And it hardly took anything to cover that. In the meantime, I'm gonna grease and wax remove the rest of those so they're ready to go. Come back, 2nd coat on this one, and then on to the rest of the wheels. All right, it's worth mentioning that on the first wheel we did, we actually got some wrinkling way down in the center there. The rest of the wheel, thank goodness, where it's not going to show or be obvious, and it's actually dry to the touch right now. I think we went too heavy, and again, this is spray paint. You can run into problems with spray paint. You want to be careful because some chemicals don't play nice together. So we're going to hit this one with a second coat. The other three don't seem to have done that. This is okay. It's okay because this is a weathered look. No, it's doing it. I think they're all doing it a little bit. At least it's consistent. But I think overall it'll look nice, and it goes with that weathered look. But I wasn't really expecting that. We were extra careful. That's why we didn't wipe it this time. But that's a good thing, and I guess a tip is be cautious and go extra light. So I'm going to cut back the material a little bit for our second coat here and lay that on. All right, so at the end of the day, clear coat went on really, really, really well. Not being a professional painter, using a pretty big gun with a 1/4 tip, I probably laid the clear coat on a little thick, the poppies. And with saying that, after the first coat, first of all, you should have left a 20-minute flash time. It's not the warmest time of the year here. I only let it go like 10 minutes. But I immediately started to see wrinkling and or re-wetting of the paint. And by paint, that is our previously painted surface with our Krylon rattle can paint. So we layered that in our other video with the grays, the reds, and the top coat of white. Sanded through that, we got our weathered look, and then we were gonna seal it with the poppies or any clear coat, it wouldn't matter, but this time we used the poppies patina. So basically, long story short, it re-wetted the undercoat, and this is what we got. So this one being, I guess probably, if you wanted to say something was the worst, it would be this one. You can see that wrinkling of the paint. It did end up with the sheen we wanted, that satiny shine, that kind of low gloss, but not like super high gloss. And at first, when it did lift the paint and it re-wetted that spray paint underneath, I was a little pissed, I'm not gonna lie, and concerned. But at the end of the day, I threw them in the oven, I let them bake before we just said, you know what, we're gonna redo them and do this again. The wrinkles laid flat, the paint hardened up, we got the look we wanted, and to be honest with you, it kind of looks like a weathered barn door now with that wrinkled look. No, it wasn't planned, but all right, so at the end of the day, it works with the build that we're gonna go with. It wasn't the original plan, but afterwards, and I got some opinion of a few other buddies of mine on the looks of them and what we were doing with the truck, because we're gonna have a similar look for the truck, except more rust. And everybody seemed to say, go, run it, don't redo it, I like it. So we're gonna. And that's not an excuse for being lazy. I actually like it as well, and it took me a little bit to kind of like accept that what happened instead of redoing it, which I was ready to do, and then I got a few people that convinced me out of it, so this is the wheel. And all in all, I'm happy with it. But with that being said, let's talk about how this happened. All right, so as mentioned previously, we layered the paint. So there's about 3 layers of paint on that with the flash time and everything in between. It's just your standard Krylon spray paint. Used it before, had no issues with it. However, when you mix an automotive type paint or clear coat with a rattle can paint, it's very susceptible to re-wetting or wrinkling. More so than I even expected. And I called Poppy's Patina right away, and I talked to them folks, and I got it figured out, and they were super awesome. They're super knowledgeable. They're friendly, and it has nothing to do with their product. It's more of my application. First of all, the temperature is not ideal in here, okay? It's like 50. Second of all, we layered this clear coat on a flat surface like this, which I've done in the past, but typically with automotive or all spray paint, not a mix of the two. Laid on that clear coat pretty thick, okay? So that's another problem. It should have been done horizontal on a very, very, very light coat. That would have been helpful as well. 2, I didn't let it flash off long enough. I didn't let it like cure the 20 minutes I should have, especially being a low temperature. Maybe went 10 minutes and then I hit them again. At that point, they were already starting to show signs of wrinkling. The wrinkling just enhanced and got worse. So there's a couple things that can happen with spray paint. You've got to be careful with that. So there's a word of advice. If you're going to layer paint, you're going to hit it with an automotive type clear, whether it's Poppies or it's Napa or whatever it happens to be for a paint brand. Just be aware that when you're mixing automotive paint, like true mixing chemical automotive paint, and then rattle cans, be aware this stuff can happen. So we're going to be using the Poppies as the clear coat because it's the sheen we want on our whole S10 truck, the build. However, that truck has been repainted, but it is an automotive paint. We didn't do it. I don't know much about it, but I think it'll be fine. I don't think we'll have the re-wetting like you do with the spray paint. So all in all, We're very happy with the product. We got the sheen we wanted. At the end of the day, this looks good. It wasn't the plan, but sometimes that's the way things go. And being my build and our build, well, we can get away with that. So let me know what you think. Drop a comment. Maybe I missed something along the way where you're like, you know what, you should have tried this, or how long did you let your spray paint cure? It actually cured for a week. So we tried to follow those steps properly. I just want to thank you all for watching. Give us a like, give us a subscribe. This is Flip and Customize. We want to put out much more content. Let us know, drop a comment what you want to see. Take care, guys. Scott, Flip and Customize.